Alrighty, so today is lesson 7 in the 10 lessons I've learned in doing over 500 podcasts. And this one can seem small, but I don't think it's a small thing. Lesson 7 is be great with your equipment and have ridiculous amount of confidence. There's a great Seneca quote that says, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." And I don't think you should be overlooked that there's very, very few opportunities when it comes to hunting. Take archery elk hunting. You may get one opportunity in an entire season. And I would say it's not unrealistic to say 1 to 5 opportunities. So you don't want to squander those opportunities. And I think being ultra prepared for those opportunities is going to bring you the luck, right? So if we break this down into two pieces, this could also be boiled down into the science of stupid mistakes. Over the years, if I look back at all of the missed opportunities, let's say, most of them are really just dumb mistakes, right? They're just stupid errors that I made. And so how do you reduce those? I think that's really, really important. And for me, even though I still make mistakes, last year I made a huge mistake on a very small mental error, right? But the way you try to reduce those is by having systems and routines. Systems and routines create this ability to do things subconsciously and not have to think about them. And when you get into the chaos and the adrenaline is flowing, you tend to make small mistakes, human errors, right? To errors to be human. But if we can reduce those, then we're increasing the chance of luck, right? So one way to do that is to create systems. This comes when it comes to shooting systems, ranging systems, and all those heat of the battle things. And so this is probably more important for archery, but I don't think it should be overlooked for rifle because I think the same systems can come into play. So when we talk about building systems, I always think about I want to be able to do the same shot sequence, the same range sequence. I want to be able to do those things without thinking about them because in the heat of the moment, I need to be thinking about the animal behavior and not necessarily how to put my arrow on or is how my release works or feeling those things. I want those to all be subconscious. And so all of this, creating the system preseason, right? Let's control the variables that we can control. I can control those things. I can't go out and practice what's going to happen when an elk comes in and those red zone decisions. So the best I can do is try to control all the decisions. So when I create systems, I always keep my rangefinder in the same place. I keep my arrows in the same way, right? In the quiver. I keep my release. All these things that I do every single time is to try to limit the number of small errors I'm going to make when in the heat of the situation and reduce the things I have to think about, right? So creating a system for shooting and having that confidence. The second part of this is that confidence in your equipment breeds confidence in action. When you are completely confident in your equipment, you're going to feel like you're on top of the world and you're going to go into these situations, hunting scenarios where you're going to be like, I can do this. This is going to happen. I know I can make this shot. And you don't want to have any lapse in that confidence because inevitably that just breeds doubt. So having confidence in your system is so important. And it's not just in archery, but in rifle as well, having those systems. So I want to give you 3 tips on building your confidence. Number 1 is train like you hunt. We talk about not going in the backyard and shooting in your flip-flops and shorts. I think those repetitions are good, but as you get closer to season, to train like you hunt means to go out, take one shot. Take that first shot has to count because that's what it's like in real scenarios. It's easy to go out in the backyard and shoot 6, 7 arrows and shoot some groups, but that first one is the one that counts. So one tip is to go out in the woods, set up your block. I like shooting a really small block because it's going to make it tougher, right? You're going to have that, oh man, I hope I don't miss. So go out, set a block out, just walk back. Don't choose to shoot at 40. Just walk and say, I'm going to shoot from here. And hey, it's 43. And maybe shoot from the kneeling position. Maybe shoot leaned up against a tree. Train like you hunt means I want that first shot to count. And I want to create the scenario the best I can to what it's really going to be like. That's important in rifle as well. So we'll go out and shoot at random distances. And so instead of just shooting off the bench, go shoot off your pack, go shoot at 500 yards or at 250, at scenarios that are more like hunting. The other one is back to the creating a system when you have a shot sequence. And so creating the system is like going through that system the same way every time. This is important for rifle, right? It's easy to go sight in your rifle at the range and not do things the way you would. But what if your bipod's on your binoculars and it's in your pack and all these things? And so creating that system, going through that shot sequence is going to help you not have to mentally think about that in the heat of the moment. The last one is to create a mental model, right? So one of the things we talked about with Joel Turner, and if you haven't, go check out some of his stuff. It's amazing. But I have this mantra almost of level, steady, squeeze. And what that mantra does for me is like pulls me out of the moment and tells me to think about what I'm doing. When you get in the heat of the moment and things are going, you just want to pull the trigger and get it over with. You want to just make that shot count, right? But if you can have a mantra that's going to slow you down in the moment, the idea is to slow the chaos. It's easy to get wrapped up, and that's when we make mental mistakes. And so having the confidence in your shooting system, having the confidence in the way you go about your system, and then I like to create like some kind of mantra that's gonna pull me out of the chaos in the moment. For me, every time I draw back on an animal and I get settled, it's like level, steady, squeeze. And it's just basically a reminder to like, hey, be present. Like, is your shot good? Are you making all the right decisions? So being great with your equipment is just not being good at what you do. It's about having the confidence and having a system that's gonna take away all the luck variable or the bad luck variable, if you will. Hope this helps you and hope you become more confident in your shooting ability and your hunting ability.